Tonight, the push for pay equity on the pitch.
This isn't a win. This isn't a win.
A new interim deal for Canada's women's soccer team, but the players say the fight isn't over. Record heat turns Florida waters into a hot tub.
The 2 hottest months of the summer yet to come is really terrifying.
The potentially disastrous effects on sea life. An earth-shaking performance.
You could definitely feel like the stadium shaking. Oh yeah.
The moment Taylor Swift fans caused a seismic event.
This is The National with Juanita Taylor.
Welcome, Tuktoyaktuk. Ian is away. We begin tonight with significant soccer news, just as Canada's women's national team is in the global spotlight. Players have reached an interim compensation deal with Canada Soccer, but one they aren't entirely happy with. The team itself is on the other side of the world, playing in the Women's World Cup. The labor dispute has been dragging on for more than a year. A key issue, equal pay with the men's team. And on that, there is movement tonight. Ithel Musa takes us through the details.
At the FIFA Women's World Cup, Canada's team has been focused on the field. But behind closed doors, they've been busy negotiating a new compensation deal.
Super frustrating to know that the players have been forced to get on a table and talk about an agreement, a deal when they're at camp, at the World Cup.
The interim agreement will only cover 2023. It will include prize money from the Women's World Cup and ensure equal pay to the men's team. But the women say there are issues left unresolved. We have been forced to choose between compensation and the funding required to hold necessary training camps. We are disappointed to find ourselves without a more complete agreement at this crucial stage in our calendar. This isn't over.
So this isn't a win. This isn't a win. It's embarrassing that a national sport organization has put our national teams in this kind of position in the first place.
In a statement to CBC News, Canada Soccer acknowledged there's more work to do, but said this is another important step forward for equalizing the standard of care and pay equity for our players. The long-simmering dispute reached a boiling point in February when the team initially refused to take the field at the She Believes Cup in Florida. Then in March, appearing before a parliamentary committee, team captain Christine Sinclair testified that when she raised her team's concerns to former Canada Soccer president Nick Bontis,
the president of Canada Soccer listened to what I had to say, and then later in the meeting referred back to it as, quote, what was it Christine was bitching about?
Canada's federal sports ministry says it will always support the right of female athletes to fair and equitable compensation, and Canada Soccer must be transparent at the negotiating table. Ithel Musa, CBC News, Toronto.
Our Lindsay Duncombe is in Melbourne, Australia, where the women will play their next World Cup game on Monday. Lindsay, any reaction from players there outside of that statement?
No, not yet, Juanita. The team did add a media availability after their training session later today, so they will be asked about it. Really, this has been in the background of the entire tournament. Captain Christine Sinclair said she expected a deal would be done before the women even got here to Australia. The message has been, it's almost done, ready to be signed. Let's talk about soccer. So I think it's fair to say that when we do talk to the players later today, there will be some relief that this deal has been done, even if there is disappointment in the contents.
And all of this is happening ahead of a huge match for this team.
Absolutely huge. It's pretty much do or die against Australia. The host team are known as the Matildas, and the Matildas lost an upset to Nigeria, really throwing the group way open. And what that means is that Canada needs either a draw or a win to guarantee that they'll move out of the group stage. Australia does not want to give them that. In fact, this entire country is rallying behind their women.
All right, go Canada, go. Thank you, Lindsay. Turning to BC now, where months of hot, dry weather has done more than fuel wildfires. Much of the province is withering under harsh drought conditions, drying up crops and water supplies, even forcing cities to tighten their taps. Balpuri explains there are worries the situation could get even worse into the fall.
Scorched and already parched. For the first time in 8 years, Metro Vancouver will implement Stage 2 water restrictions with a total ban on lawn watering. Across British Columbia, conditions are hot, dry, and not easing up.
It is possible for the drought conditions to carry through the fall and winter into the next year if we don't see the level of rainfall that we need.
23 of the province's 34 water basins are at drought level 4 or 5, which is the highest. It's a stark contrast to last July in a small patch of level 1 drought, and to the summer before. It was considered a very bad year for drought, but the levels weren't anywhere near right now.
I think it is unprecedented. We had a very early spring with incredibly hot temperatures across most of British Columbia, and no rain. And as a result of that, the groundwater levels were not topped up.
Drought causes river levels to go down and water temperatures to go up. Adverse effects on salmon stocks are almost certain.
And that could in turn have an effect on things like killer whales. Things like grizzly bears or spirit bears are known to target salmon that are returning in the summer and fall. And if the salmon returns are significantly impacted by the drought conditions this year, we will in turn see effects on other things in the ecosystem.
Agriculture has already taken a hit. Farmers unable to grow enough feed have had to sell or shrink their herds.
Hopefully this is just a glimpse of what's coming in the future and that we can start to adapt. We have time to really adjust our production systems, our infrastructure, our policies to create a more resilient system.
Earlier this week, BC had 2 days of rain, but experts say it needs another 6 to ease the drought. Not common for this time of year. Belle Puri, CBC News, Vancouver.
In Nova Scotia, residents are still dealing with the devastating effects of torrential rain last weekend. 4 people were swept away in the floods. As Shein shows us, the tragedy is prompting calls for a better warning system for severe rain and flash floods.
Craig Falkenham cleans out the wreck of his flooded car. A messy job, but he's just happy to be alive after last weekend's floods.
And I just thought, oh, it's just raining, no big deal.
He tried to move the car during the storm, but he ended up locked inside. Within minutes, the water rose from knee to waist high.
I'm thinking, I'm in real trouble here. What am I going to do?
Luckily, 2 of his neighbors managed to get the door open and pulled him out.
And I said, you may have saved my life. And they're like, oh, no problem. And they're the real heroes.
The Nova Scotia floods have already cost 4 lives, including 2 children, 6-year-old Colton Sisko, 6-year-old Natalie Harnish, and 52-year-old Nick Holland have been identified by their families. All died when the vehicles they were in washed away. A 4th person remains missing.
It's just such a tragic situation.
This retired Environment Canada meteorologist has been calling for a national flood warning system for years. Flood forecasting is done differently in every province. Nova Scotians did get a rainfall warning, but many say they didn't realize how bad it would get.
If we had a national flood forecast program or a flash flood forecast program, then it's not only the warnings itself, it's the public education.
The United States has a national system dating back to the 1950s, sometimes telling people to get ready as much as 48 hours in advance.
Generally, the goal is more than an hour. Of course, as much lead time as possible is generally thought to be a better thing.
She says more than half of U.S. flood fatalities are people in vehicles. Falkenham is grateful that didn't happen to him.
But I've only been trapped in the car 5 minutes, but those were 5 minutes that I will never forget.
Experts say even if floodwaters look shallow, people should avoid driving through them because the risk of the vehicle being swept away is too high. Shayna Luck, CBC News, Halifax.
The federal government has announced more than $53 million in funding to help protect the Arctic community of Tuktoyaktuk against the effects of climate change. As I saw firsthand on a visit last winter, coastal erosion is threatening its future. A drum dance on the shores of the Arctic Ocean. As the Inuvialuit celebrated New Hope, they can protect their community that's slowly sinking.
So this means everything to us, right? We put a lot of work into this over a number of years. to seek the funding and make the arguments, that Tuk was in a critical state here.
Up to a meter of coastline erodes every year in Tuktoyaktuk, Northwest Territories, as sea ice melts and storms get more intense. This newly announced federal funding, $53.7 million, will be used in part to install rock and other materials along the shoreline and in front of Tuk Island to reduce the force of the waves.
It's devastating to see all these waves, taking the shoreline away.
In the winter, Mayor Erwin Elias gave me a tour of the damage. Now, he says his community has time to figure out the future.
Scientific research that we hear about today is that Tuk will no longer be existing in the next 50 years. We need to work quick. Do we continue to do more shoreline protection, or do we start focusing on relocating?
So amid this celebration, a real sense that much more work needs to be done. Police in Akwesasne have now identified a body found in the St. Lawrence River earlier this month as 30-year-old Casey Oakes, last seen operating a boat found near the bodies of 8 migrants. Oakes disappeared in March after launching a boat from eastern Cornwall Island. His family reported him missing the next day. The bodies of 2 migrant families, one from India, one from Romania, were pulled from the water shortly after. Jorge Barrera is in Akwesasne tonight, Casey Oakes' home community. Jorge, what can you tell us tonight about him and his alleged involvement in the suspected human smuggling operation?
Well, Casey Oakes was a 30-year-old father of 2 daughters, and his body was actually pulled downstream from here on July 3rd, but it took the Quebec's coroner's office nearly a month to identify his remains. They had to use DNA to confirm his identity because of the state of the body. Now, Casey Oakes was the great-grandson of Levi Oakes, a Mohawk code talker. Casey Oakes also struggled for many years with addictions and substance abuse issues. Now, we understand from speaking to people in this community that it is those same issues that actually drove him to this water's edge, seeking money to actually move people across to be able to feed these addictions. And that's what led him on a stormy night in March with 4 Indian nationals and 4 Romanian nationals. And he actually launched from this island into these waters, but he never made it back. Juanita?
And what's the latest on the investigation around the 8 migrants found this spring?
Well, there are multiple police agencies investigating, both in Canada and the U.S. We have Homeland Security Investigations in the U.S., and we have Akwesasne Mohawk Police, the RCMP, Sûreté de Québec, and Ontario Provincial Police. Juanita?
Jorge, thank you. Jorge Barrera in Akwesasne this evening. To Ukraine now, where Russia launched a missile strike on the city of Dnipro as Ukraine steps up its fight on the ground to take back its territory. A Russian strike hit apartments and a building used by Ukraine's security service, injuring 9. Hours after Kiev struck a Russian government building in the occupied eastern part of the country and liberated a town in the south. Since the summer began, Ukraine has been trying to advance in 3 places. In the south, Staromayorsk is the first town they've captured in weeks. There's also progress here, further west. But that means Ukraine has just started breaching the first of Russia's main defense lines, stretching across the region. This counteroffensive renewed, but facing the same deadly challenges. A 37-year-old mystery has been solved in the Swiss Alps after human remains were found on a partially melted glacier. Swiss police confirmed the remains are those of a German climber who disappeared back in 1986. Shrinking ice has led to several such discoveries in recent years as glaciers melt at their fastest rate since record-keeping began over 100 years ago. Well, from melting glaciers to warming oceans, there's growing concern tonight about the impact of extreme heat on fragile underwater ecosystems. Florida's normally warm coastal water is now more like a hot tub. For coral reefs and the many species that depend on them, that can be devastating. Philip Lishanek now on the race to save them.
The coral reefs off the coast of Florida are in trouble.
We're looking at a localized extinction event. Most of the reefs are near 100% coral bleaching, which means that the coral is still alive, but it's very stressed.
But many corals have died, killing at least one entire reef. The cause? Extreme heat. Seawater temperatures off the coast of Florida this week hit 38 degrees Celsius, like a hot tub.
The water has reached levels that they almost never reach. And the fact that they've reached these levels now with still presumably the 2 hottest months of the summer yet to come is really terrifying.
These critical ecosystems help secure food, tourism, and shoreline protection from storm surges. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says these extreme heat events will become more common with climate change. And this year, El Nino will further warm the Pacific.
We're very concerned right now that this could turn into a global event.
He's watching satellite data that suggests coral bleaching events are not just hitting Florida, but reef systems around the world.
Sea surface temperatures are going to reach levels that are going to cause coral bleaching every year for the majority of the world's coral reefs, beginning somewhere around the years 2040 to 2050. So in a situation where you have annual coral bleaching, you're essentially creating a scenario where the coral is never going to have a chance to recover.
Now marine scientists in Florida are in a race to save as many coral strains as they can, pulling them out of the ocean to the safety of dryland tanks, which could be used to restore the reefs.
That gives us hope that, at least not all will be lost. We do this kind of work to show people that there is still a fight that's going to be made for these ecosystems.
A fight for the ocean and the life within it. Philip Lishanek, CBC News, Toronto.
According to one recent study, in Canada's biggest cities, the average commute is 50 minutes long or more, which is why Montreal is now celebrating a new light rail line known as the REM. Riders, including our Quabino Oduro, just got their first taste.
For politicians at the ribbon cutting, it was an historic day for public transit in Quebec.
I live in Brossard and I work in the city, so it's going to be great.
This new light rail, or REM line, runs from Brossard on the South Shore across the Champlain Bridge to downtown Montreal. During rush hour, the drive can be up to an hour. The trains do it in 18 minutes.
What I'm hoping is that people will actually seize the REM as the opportunity to come to downtown Montreal and leaving their car at home. Everything is there for them to enjoy the view, enjoy the ride.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau celebrating the opening after $1.3 billion of federal aid and a 2-year delay.
More electric, high-speed rail, more high-frequency rail, more electric, light rail, more electric buses. These are the kinds of things that we know are great for the environment, are great for people, and create jobs.
The trains are conductorless. Operators monitor the system from their headquarters in Brossard.
I was surprised to see how fast it is, and I hope that people that be stuck in the traffic, that it will be a big incentive to go and join the REMs.
For the inauguration, REM officials held a contest, and 100 winners had the opportunity to be first to ride the train.
I have Billy here with me. He rode the REM for the very first time. Billy, how was your experience?
It was an absolutely amazing experience, one of the best I've ever had on transit anywhere in the world.
How did it feel being on the REM?
It feels like being a part of history of this city, this province, this country. I just want to see so many more projects like this all over.
Work continues to finish the entire network connecting downtown Montreal to the West Island and Laval by 2024, to the airport by 2027, if all goes according to schedule. Quabino Oduro, CBC News, Montreal.
Excitement is growing among shoppers over a fashion giant some say could soon rival Amazon.
It's affordable. The kids love the brand, the boyfriend, me, myself.
Why some are concerned about its environmental impact next. Plus, a famous portrait and the art heist that's still unsolved.
It was right here. The plaque is still there.
Paul Hunter is on the trail of the thieves. And later,
You could definitely feel like the stadium shaking. Oh yeah.
The Taylor Swift concert that literally shook the earth. We're back in 2.
It's McIntosh! McIntosh! Gold in 2:04.06! Another World Junior record!
A stunning finish for Summer McIntosh at the World Aquatics Championships. For the second year in a row, the Canadian won gold in the women's 200-meter butterfly. The 16-year-old swimmer set a new Canadian record with a time of just 2 minutes and 4.6 seconds. The ultra-fast fashion brand Shein is growing rapidly. It's building an online marketplace that experts say could rival Amazon. But as Lauren Bird shows us, that comes at a cost.
It's a rare in-person opportunity for Shein shoppers, browsing before buying.
It's affordable. The kids love the brand, the boyfriend, me, myself.
Hundreds lined up at this pop-up Thursday, waiting to buy trendy items for discount prices.
It's cheaper because I can find everything I want.
Shein, founded in 2008, is known for ultra-fast fashion. It pumps out thousands of new styles every day.
And now it's adding a global online marketplace. It's already launched in the US, Mexico, and Brazil. And third-party merchants can sell everything from homewares to appliances. But Shein has faced scrutiny over its environmental impact and its human rights track record.
The fast fashion industry sends millions of tons of clothing waste to landfills every year. And experts say an expansion like this could add to those problems.
There are a lot of concerns about how Shein it create this kind of culture which encourage consumers to keep purchasing cheap clothing and dump them.
Shein is popular with Gen Z shoppers who show off their purchases.
Hi guys, I have a huge Shein haul. That is why not.
And it's that ability to leverage its engaged shoppers that could give it an advantage over competition.
We kind of haven't seen a big competitor to Amazon yet, and Shein certainly seems to be getting Amazon a run for their money.
But for conscious consumers, it makes things trickier.
Shein sort of feels like we're returning back to the beginning and erasing a lot of really good work that is being done to improve fashion and make it easier for consumers to buy a piece of clothing without worrying that they're, harming someone on the other side of the world.
As the company grows, so does its competitors. The popular e-commerce site Temu announced this month it's expanding, and TikTok is creating a marketplace to sell made-in-China goods. Lauren Bird, CBC News, Toronto.
As a violent military coup unfolds in the West African country of Niger, many are wondering what's really going on. Coming up, how it got to this point and what comes next.
It was right here.
Plus, the mysterious theft of an iconic portrait.
The first thing I thought of was it was an inside job.
Paul Hunter goes behind the scenes of the investigation and reveals his own deeply personal connection to the story. The National takes you deeper into the stories shaping our world next.
Le président du Conseil national pour la sauvegarde de la patrie est le chef de l'État. Il représente l'État du Niger.
Soldiers in Niger say they've suspended the country's constitution and put the general behind the military coup in charge. Niger's democratically elected president is believed to be held captive. The African Union, EU, and UN have condemned the coup. And Peter Armstrong explains it could mark a dangerous moment for the entire region.
Niger has been plunged into chaos. The president's been detained, and for now, at least, the army has taken control. But what happened? How did we get here? And most importantly, what comes next? Here are 4 things to watch as the situation in Niger continues to unfold. Taking power is the easy part. The Presidential Guard locked up the president. They seized the state broadcaster and announced on air they were, quote, putting an end to the current regime. Okay, so now what? holding on to power is a very different beast than taking it. The head of the army has said that to avoid bloodshed, he will support the coup. But will rank-and-file soldiers fall in line? Remember, many of them are stationed on a base where they're being trained by French and American troops, whose countries adamantly support ousted President Mohamed Bazoum. On the streets of Niger's capital, people are divided. Supporters of the coup lit cars on fire and attacked the ruling party headquarters. Those who backed the president were dispersed by gunfire. It's still not entirely clear where President Mohamed Bazoum is, but he's not going quietly. He's tweeting out messages to the country, and Bazoum's still taking phone calls from the UN Secretary General and the US Secretary of State. Niger is a landlocked country in the middle of West Africa. It's racked with poverty and in the midst of years-long Islamic insurgency. But it's a key Western ally, and it's a crucial piece to a larger regional puzzle. This region below the Sahara has been beset by military coups recently. Mali in 2020 and 2021, Burkina Faso last year, Chad had an unsuccessful coup attempt last December, Sudan has been in a constant state of crisis for years, and now Niger. There are at least 1,000 US troops in Niger. After the coup in Mali, French troops were kicked out of the country, so they set up a new headquarters alongside the Americans in Niger. And all those Western troops are a long-standing grievance. They're training the very army that now has to decide if it will support the coup or rally around the president. But there's another player here as well. Take a close look at the videos of demonstrations in support of the coup. They're waving a Russian flag. Russia is key to all of this. When the military seized power in Burkina Faso and Mali, both countries moved away from the West and forged a tighter bond with Russia. Instead of working with the French military to fight Islamic insurgents, they turned to the notorious private army of Russia's Wagner Group. In a quirk of weird timing as the coup unfolded, Russia hosted a summit of African leaders in St. Petersburg. And guess who was there? This guy, Evgeny Prigozhin, the head of the Wagner Group. He's supposed to be in exile in Belarus after staging the first dance moves of his own coup, but he's obviously still useful. When Putin wants to increase Russian influence in Africa, Niger is a prime opportunity.
If the coup holds, if the putschists manage to survive, that might create this opening for Russia to try and strengthen its cooperation.
Coups are chaotic, and you know who benefits from chaos? Insurgents. We've seen that in Burkina Faso and Mali and Chad and Sudan and now Niger. And that scares the heck out of the UN Secretary General.
The whole belt south of the Sahara is becoming an extremely problematic area with terrible consequences.
The swath of countries south of the Sahara are racked by climate change. Niger alone is losing an estimated 250,000 acres to the desert every year. A combination of poverty, lack of workable land, and political instability is a tailor-made environment for insurgent groups.
The last thing you ever want when you have a security vacuum and a governance vacuum is for non-state actors to be able to have a safe space to hide, recoup, and figure out a way to expand from there. And these jihadist groups have managed to do that quite well across Burkina Faso. We don't want Niger to look the same.
The question looming over all of this is whether there's much the West can do. After 20 years of war in Iraq and Afghanistan, there's not a lot of domestic support for America's role as global police force. So in a lot of ways, this coup is a key test of domestic stability, regional security, and global politics all in one go.
As you just heard from Peter Armstrong, there are U.S. troops in Niger. And if Washington declares the takeover a coup, by law, Niger stands to lose millions of dollars in military and financial assistance. A famous photograph of Winston Churchill swapped out for a fake in the lobby of an iconic Canadian hotel.
It needs to be shown to the world. It needs to come back here where it belongs.
Coming up, Paul Hunter gets exclusive access to the investigation and helps out with an important tip of his own. We want to take you into an unsolved mystery tonight. How did a famous portrait of Winston Churchill vanish from an Ottawa hotel? And crucially, who took it? It went missing about a year and a half ago, and as the investigation unfolded, our very own Paul Hunter found himself right in the middle. He took us through that tale earlier this year.
Waiting in the evidence room at a securitized police warehouse in suburban Ottawa, and there it is.
That's it.
The phony Churchill.
Let's take a look.
The faked photo of Winston Churchill, a key clue in Canada's art heist of the century.
This is the evidence?
This is the evidence that was recovered from the scene.
Wow.
Now discolored by forensic chemicals, CBC News was given special access to what has now been scoured for fingerprints and DNA. A scrawled, forged signature. And Churchill's hand, the only signals now on view that this was meant to be that. One of the most iconic portraits of the last 100 years, known as the Roaring Lion, a vintage photo of the British Prime Minister after a wartime speech in Ottawa.
When I warned them that Britain would fight on alone.
Taken by Canada's Yusuf Karsh in 1941. Stoic, purposeful, resolute, stolen. The still unsolved mystery began here at a castle of a hotel in downtown Ottawa, the Chateau Laurier. Karsh himself once worked and lived here. He gifted the Churchill and others to the hotel as a thank you, and for decades it hung alongside some of his other photographic masterpieces right out in the open for all to see and enjoy until it was taken.
Every day someone?
Every day. People come and ask, where was it? What happened? Did you find it? Every day.
Really?
Hotel manager Geneviève Dumas can still hardly believe the Churchill's gone.
It was right here. The plaque is still there.
Holes in the wall and a brass nameplate is pretty much all that's left.
A swap happened, and there's special anchors. It was bolted on 4 anchors. So somebody knew how to do it, knew how to remove it. I don't know.
One big clue, the fake left behind by the thief. This is it back when it was on the wall. It was only last August that a hotel staffer noticed the frame was too dark. Here's an old photo of the original. In hindsight, it's easy to see the difference. On the left, the original frame is gold, not brown. On the right, the fake is overall smaller. But for months, no one noticed.
So when this happened, we asked for anybody that had pictures of Churchill to find.
Hotel guests sent in photos they'd taken, hoping that it would help crack the case. The most recent shot of the original in place was this one, from Christmas Day 2021.
People were sending us pictures. You were one of them, Mr. Hunter.
I had the fake.
The
right?
latest original was December 25th. So when you sent us that picture of the fake on January 6th, we know that it disappeared between December 25th and January 6th.
That's right. The photo of the print, the first known photo of the fake, was taken by me. Why? Well, it all goes back to my late mother, who in the 1950s helped get Churchill re-elected in the UK, after which he sent her a signed letter of thanks, which became a family heirloom, and for years stood alongside a copy of a Karsh at our home in Toronto. Whenever I'm in Ottawa, I'd stop by the hotel to see the vintage Roaring Lion so that I could, in a sense, say hi to my mom. And last January, I took this picture, not knowing that months later, by fluke, it would narrow the window for the theft to just 12 days. And here's another clue. This is the lobby just recently, next to the room with all the photos. This is the lobby around the time the Karsh was stolen. In another shot that I took on that trip, Ottawa was in a COVID lockdown. Perfect timing, says ex-FBI agent Robert Whitman in Philadelphia, who years ago founded the FBI's art heist division.
That to me would be opportunity.
A valuable photo in a near-empty hotel.
What went through your mind when you heard about the Karsh theft in Ottawa?
Well, the first thing I thought of was it was an inside job. It would have to be someone who had access, who was supposed to be there. When it comes to these
and savvy enough to hang that fake in its place. In the world of art crime, he says, fakes are a key tool.
It's not a good reproduction, but that's all it takes, because people aren't looking specifically at that. The casual observer is not going to see that's not the original.
Fakes, he says, are meant to buy time for the thief. Most people won't see the difference, at least not at first.
It just has to be close enough.
Close enough.
Eventually, he says, most stolen art comes onto the market. And when that happens,
someone talks about it. They tell the wrong person. The wrong person turns around, tells the police, and then there's an undercover operation to recover it.
That said, it's a process that can take years. Meanwhile, say those who know this stuff, the world has lost a piece of history. In the President's Wing at the Smithsonian Portrait Gallery in Washington, familiar faces are framed on wall after wall after wall. And in a special room brought out just for us, a prime minister. Another rare, made by Karsh himself, roaring lion. Smaller than the one stolen in Ottawa, cherished by curator Anne Schumard.
It's an artifact of that moment, and I think that's one of the things that makes it special.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is. It's extraordinary.
Schumard underlines Karsh prints are always of value, but the Churchill itself is special. Not least with its backstory. Churchill's cigar snatched away by Karsh moments before the photo, bringing that now famous scowl.
It made Karsh's career. I mean, up until that point, he was really not known outside of Canada. It became the most well-known of all of his portraits over time. If someone, even if they don't know the name Karsh, if they think about Winston Churchill, this is probably the image that comes to mind.
When you think of Churchill,
you think of this.
You think of this.
So this was the Karsh apartment.
They lived here.
They did.
Come on, Stuart.
For 20 years.
It's beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
Back at the chateau, Geneviève Dumas takes us into the rarely seen rooms where Karsh spent so many years.
I see Hemingway, George Bernard Shaw.
His work, icons, all on every wall, underlining for Dumas what's been lost.
It needs to be shown to the world. It needs to come back here where it belongs. I'm sincerely hoping this will reach someone who knows what happened, and this will make the picture to come back.
You sound so frustrated.
Yes, I'm frustrated. This is part of this hotel. It's part of the history. It's part of Canada, of Ottawa. It belongs here.
All right, thank you.
And with that, Ottawa police take the fake into the back room. Their investigation remains active, but the roaring lion remains gone.
And it is still gone. Now, nearly a year after it was discovered missing, the police investigation remains very much active, but to date, nothing. Art heist investigators will tell you these kinds of things are usually recovered, but it can take years, sometimes decades. Often they'll resurface at an auction, for example, when the thief tries to cash in. But unlike with, say, a stolen oil painting, this being a photograph with other prints in circulation makes identifying it complicated. If a Karsh Churchill comes up for sale, how do you know it's that one? Not easy. The hope is that continued attention on the theft will help, but for now, the bottom line is that wall at the chateau remains empty.
Thanks, Paul. That's Paul Hunter in Washington. Coming up, an environmental cleanup more than a decade in the making.
It's the result of massive transformation, a massive undertaking.
How the dedication of a community is restoring their lands. Plus, Taylor Swift fans take their excitement to a seismic level. That's in our moment. Randy Meisner, a founding member of the band The Eagles, has died. He was 77. His former bandmates say his vocal range was astonishing and that he was integral to their success. They're remembering him as the sweetest man in the music business. Meisner died of complications from lung disease. Hope is on the table tonight for the people of Kahnawà. The Mohawk Territory sits along the St. Lawrence, and construction to build the seaway left some land unlivable for decades. But now, thanks to the efforts of the community, wildlife is returning and nature is making a comeback. Sarah Levitt explains how.
Walking on lush green land, Benjamin Green Stacy can't help but feel a sense of peace.
When you see this, it's the result of massive transformation, a massive undertaking, and you know, if you give nature half a chance, she does a lot of to finish the job.
This is Kadare de Gaguita Island in Kahnawà, a marsh and bay now teeming with life. Bank swallows nesting, western chorus frogs searching for food. Both threatened species have found safety here. But this land used to look like this. Rocky and barren, inhospitable to both animals and humans, an Indigenous-led community project has transformed this place. You were telling me that this project was a decade and a half in the making, but really the story begins in 1954.
Yes. This whole island is the consequence of seaway channel dredging.
Dredging to create the St. Lawrence Seaway.
La voie maritime du Saint-Laurent est ouverte depuis ce matin.
The joint venture between Canada and the United States began construction during the summer of 1954 to improve shipping. In the Mohawk language, Kahnawà means by the rapids. But the seaway meant the expropriation of more than 500 hectares of Indigenous land and access to the water lost. Crews dumped sludge and blasted rock from the river on the island, creating an almost barren wasteland.
I think a lot of times as Ungwe or the First Nations people, we've kind of been forgotten or left on the sidelines of a lot of things.
It wasn't an easy road to get here, pulling up invasive aquatic weeds, pumping sediment out of the bay, and planting trees and herbs to encourage natural growth. Securing federal funding for this project was challenging.
When we're talking about Indigenous-led conservation and Indigenous stewardship, we need these programs to have a degree of flexibility. This is precisely the type of outcome that we can achieve.
Land now teeming with life. Green Stacy wants this project to serve as a model for other Indigenous communities. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Kahnawà.
Well, there are two huge fans of Taylor Swift, or Swifties as they're called. They're known for their passion and energy, but the crowd at her most recent Seattle show took things to another level. They cheered so much that it made the ground shake. This fan-driven earthquake is our moment.
You could definitely feel like the stadium shaking. Oh yeah, everybody was like jumping. We were all dancing together, like putting glitter on each other, trading friendship bracelets.
That experience of the Swifties was really able to shake the ground in a substantial way. I think this story begins actually back in 2011 when Marshawn Lynch of the Seattle Seahawks, where he broke through a bazillion New Orleans Saints to score a touchdown, and the crowd went wild, and that was detected on a seismometer. We called it the Beast Quake. So when the Taylor Swift concert happened this week, somebody asked me, well, did that make an earthquake as well? And I thought, well, let's look. In fact, noise from those concerts actually shook the ground twice as hard.
I heard people who were in the upper levels could see it moving. We really knew nobody around us, and yet it kind of felt like we were all meant to be there together. It was just overall incredible.
Incredible is the word. Well, it's being called a swift quake. Her devoted fans kept the ground shaking throughout the entirety of the singer's 3.5-hour concert. And if you're curious as to which songs the largest tremors were recorded, Shake It Off and Blank Space. Well, the team that measured this is continuing to research tremors and concerts and appears to be especially excited for Beyonce as well. Wait until they hear Nunavut's Jerry Cans. Well, that is the National for July 28th. Have a good night.